record yet. Jeez, it
So I watched Demolition Man last night, and I was all excited. And I remembered that we watched Mighty Morphin Power Rangers for this instead.
Mighty Morphin motherfucking Power Rangers, boys, brothers,
Did you just crack open a cold
sisters, genuine sisters. We're drinking tonight because we watched Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the movie. Listen, we're on short time. Ron got to go. So we are cracking right fucking into this. 10 out of 10. Best movie ever made, without question.
I'm going to question that, actually. I'm really going to question that. So here, okay. I know everybody. Hi, I'm Joe. We got Chuck. We got Ron.
Hey, everybody.
This is gonna be great. This is our childhood. I will 100% say.
Oh, absolutely.
Mighty Morphin Power Rangers is our childhood.
This ain't my childhood.
It's my childhood.
I remember thinking this was good.
This is my life to this day, still, Joe.
No,
this is not just my childhood.
No. I will accept the TV show being your life to this day. This movie, I will not accept it being your life to this day. I understand, Chuck. I get that. This movie definitely probably like
it's made something to me, man.
Yep. I mean,
this shit made something to me.
And if they actually tried, yeah, I would agree.
Okay, first off, they did try. That's the problem.
Yes, it is.
If this was trying, I would have hated to have seen not trying.
No, because
they had money. Like this, they had money for this. They went to Australia to film this because, like, the last couple episodes of season 2 was actually filmed in Australia as well, and you can tell because Angel Grove in the last couple episodes of the show did not look like Angel Grove at all. But again,
to be fair, half of the episodes don't look like Angel Grove because all of a sudden everything's in Japanese.
It's Japanese. You know,
yeah, I'm just saying it doesn't.
If
we want to talk about in this movie, Angel Grove doesn't look like Angel Grove because all of a sudden it's a metropolis,
right? Yes,
yeah, like right off the bat.
Well, nothing looked the same in this because they had money, so they upgraded all their sets, like the Zordon, like the Power Ranger headquarters, whatever the fuck that's called.
Here's the thing. Here's the command center, but that looks nothing like command center. But they didn't have the guy who did Zordon. They didn't have the person who did Alpha.
Rita was a different person.
Zed.
Okay.
So is Zed. I think Goldar was as well. And then they didn't even have...
Goldar wasn't even the same fucking Goldar.
No. Actually, I like this Goldar looked a little bit like sleeker. Which was not bad.
Yeah.
But
he was shinier and his face was a little bit like...
I mean, to be fair, though, this is all based off Super Sentai. And that wasn't the season...
This is all original.
No. The TV show.
Oh, the show,
was based off
everything that they had that was recorded for anything in a costume was from Super Sentai, right?
From the 80s.
Yeah.
It was an 80s run. Right.
Like
so it's already...
So the costume would look like the Ninja Turtles costumes that they found, for when this movie was made.
I mean, no. Yeah, here's the other thing, though. And this is a little peek behind the curtain for Power Rangers. Tommy, the White Ranger, Tommy, that costume was not actually part of the Caillou Ranger, whatever the Sentai was for that they pulled from my Morphin Power Rangers. He was from that White Ranger was from a different season.
Yeah.
So that's why in the show you never actually see the White Ranger fighting with the Mighty Morphin Rangers. And if you do, it's all American footage.
Huh.
Like, this is an American-made movie, and it shows because it's not good.
Yeah. Although we did get another scroll that was read out loud, so that was
there you go. You got that.
Automatically a tenth of a point higher on my.
Yeah, so that's what got Chuck from the beginning.
Yeah, we hit the Chuck. We hit the Chuck continuum right off the bat. All right, we get a scrolling that to me. Yeah. So first and foremost, understand this. I saw this movie in the drive-in the year that it came out in 97?
95. Same day as Judge Dredd. You could have potentially went and saw Judge Dredd I'm sorry, saw this with the kids, and then have the kids fall asleep, and you watch Judge Dredd.
That's crazy.
Except that he was a kid.
Yeah.
I potentially could have.
I barely made it through this. I guarantee it. I remember.
I did not see this in theaters. I actually waited probably sometime in 2000s.
I didn't see it until it was out on. I didn't see it until it was out on VHS. So.
Okay. Yeah. So I do though. However, I do remember when this came out, and I mean the whole reason I didn't see it in theaters was my parents were not keen on me watching Power Rangers as a kid, but because I, not that I didn't care, but like South Park, I would watch it behind their backs. So this is one that maybe I watched it when it actually aired on TV, because this was the first one to air on, I guess, Fox Kids, like the first full length movie to air on the Fox Kids.
Oh, really? Stuff. I didn't know that.
Maybe not Fox Kids, but it was the first one. WB Kids, I don't know, whichever. I know it had to been Fox Kids.
Yeah, it would have been Fox.
Yeah,
it was Fox.
So maybe I watched it then. I'm not entirely sure, but I know I've seen it a few different times. But what I do remember was when this movie came out. Saturday nights, I grew up Catholic, so we would go to the church Saturday night. Afterwards, we would go to Little Caesars in the Kmart. That's how long ago it's been. And we would go have a Sunday meal after church. Little Caesars would always give away things. Like they would have like toys or something or other to for the kids to give away. And I remember this movie promotion with it. They gave away like these paper, I'll say paper dolls, but it's basically the stuff that you like form to make things. And I remember making some Power Rangers Zords with it.
Like the shit that you'd punch out of the side of a box type of thing?
Kind of, yeah. And then like you fold over and make and like form into like a square Zord, basically.
I think I remember that.
Yeah. But then I also remember, I think it was McDonald's. They also did the promotion. And so like they had, I remember the Morpher, in particular, the McDonald's Morpher.
Yeah, I still have it. I found it.
Did you find it?
I found it. It's missing one of the coins. I don't know where I did with it now. Yeah, it's missing one of the coins. I'm really mad.
I have it somewhere in this house. If I don't have it, my brother has it, but I'm pretty sure I have it. But yeah, like
belt clip so you could clip it onto your pants. Yep. Yeah.
Chuck, did you get a haircut?
I did. Yeah.
He had a really good weekend.
That's what I heard. I mean, I saw some pictures and I could see why you had a good weekend.
It was a 98% great weekend. Yes.
Hey, you know what? That's better than some.
You're not wrong.
Anyway,
you're not wrong. Good times. Shout out to Norfolk. Yeah, no, I had that toy. I brought that toy with me to the drive-in, and it was me and the boys eating popcorn in the car that we snuck in, and we lost our ever-loving minds watching this movie because at the time,
you know what?
It was a cinematic masterpiece.
1995. This would have been
at the time to a child. It would have definitely seemed a cinematic masterpiece,
especially in a drive-in. Like hell yeah, dude! That would have been like the best Saturday night ever.
Yeah. I almost broke my mom's window trying to clip the speaker to the window because I didn't know that you were just supposed to slide it. So I like pulled it and then like let it go and it like snapped.
Oh,
whoops! Yeah. Luckily didn't break it, but yeah. Oh man, love freaking. Wow, it's one of my fondest memories.
Yeah, but so we get the Power Rangers plus Bulk and Skull. They're jumping out of an airplane, which don't know if the team that Angel Grove had for whatever the skydiving thing was to land on this. I know it's a charity event or something, but if the team was the Power Rangers, why were Bulk and Skull there? Other than just to have them there?
Because they needed comedic relief for that scene. But speaking of Bulk and Skull, everybody jumps out of the plane, right? They land. Everybody's like, all right, let's go get some free food or whatever. until everybody is starting to leave and pack up, then only Aisha is like, hey, whatever happened to Bulk and Skull?
Yeah.
And then nobody cared anyway.
That's what I'm saying. And then they're like, oh, well, they're probably just getting food. And then they just didn't care. Like,
now, in the comics, and I'll refer to the comics probably a lot because the comics are so much better.
My God, no way.
Yeah, exactly. They actually do treat them as friends. In the show, in this movie, they treat them as nothing because they're supposed to be the bullies.
Except the Power Rangers are the bullies. They're always mean to them.
After rewatching all of the OG Power Rangers, yeah, the Power Rangers are the bullies. I've said that numerous times on Ranger Alliance. But yeah, but this just goes to show that they don't give two craps about these guys, you know?
Yeah,
also I got major Mighty Duck 2 vibes when they were rollerblading.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh yeah. They jump out of the plane. They land on the target to raise the money or whatever. But by the way, they're just doing the stupidest shit in the air, right? Doing all the flips. They all had a catchphrase when they jumped out of the plane.
And matching suits. Like they had the color suits.
The color to match.
Okay, the colors thing. How is it that nobody ever notices that they wear all the same colors as the Power Rangers and that they're always gone when the Power Rangers are around? Plus,
the jumpsuits themselves would have been a dead giveaway.
Yeah.
And they should have been anyway, but whatever. I don't know. It's got the suspension of disbelief that Angel Grove has for these 6 kids.
I mean, what if it is just a Batman situation where everybody just knows, they just pretend like they don't?
You know what? I'd love that. That'd be great.
Hey guys, let's walk into these bushes over here real quick.
And I really thought when they answered Zordon that they were just going to disappear right there. And I'm like, there's literally people all the way around you. What are you doing?
They had to walk into the bushes to where everybody that saw them walk into the bushes would see the electric colored things shoot out of the bush.
Yeah, how does nobody ever see them fly away?
Ever.
It never makes any sense.
They're very mysterious.
They're looking at their phones, not paying attention. In 1995.
Newspapers, probably.
Yeah. I do want to say, I at the beginning of this, I have written down that Tommy doesn't know anybody's name because he knows Kimberly because he's trying to get with Kimberly. But like when that kid Fred comes up, he's like, "Oh, hey, thanks, man. Oh yeah, no problem, dude. Hey, let's go, guys." Like he doesn't say anybody's names. Later on, he calls Rocky Rocco.
It's a nickname, man. Hey, Rocco.
It's when Rocky had that little visor thing on. It's like, what do you see, Rocco? It's like, what do you mean, Rocco? But later
we'll get to that. We'll get to that part.
Yeah, yes, actually, and I got something for that.
You know what? I'm gonna say it. Okay, look, Green Ranger Tommy, legendary, no question.
Yes.
That's the best. White Ranger Tommy, piece of shit. Fuck him. He politicked himself to be the leader. Rocky, objectively, is a better Ranger. Adam, objectively a better Ranger. Billy, seniority, probably should have been the leader.
Oh, wow.
You know what I mean?
Wait. Are we negating Kimberly, who was also around from the beginning, just because she's a girl, Chuck?
No, she never wanted to be leader, though.
That is true.
She never wanted. She just wanted to shoot a bow.
Okay. Wow. All right.
Listen, that's what they did. That's what happened in the show. She never really wanted to be a Ranger. She had to go to the Olympics or whatever. She joined the Peace Corps. Which one did she join? She went
Olympics something. It was Zach, Jason, and Trini that went Peace Corps.
Oh, right.
Well, I mean,
yeah.
In character, it was Peace Corps. In reality, they wanted more money. They thought the rest of the group, the rest of the actors, were in with them, and the rest of them were like, no, we're good. And so they kind of got screwed. They got fucked hard.
Well, I mean, look at how good of a person John Austin
St. John.
Austin, yeah, that guy.
Yeah, he's definitely had problems.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of horror stories about Power Ranger alumni. So,
yeah. Especially the only good ones I mean, obviously,
I thought you were going to say they're the dead ones, but you never.
Jason David Frank passed away. I can't never pronounce her name. The actress who played Trini, she passed away. Through Thang, or I can't remember. I apologize for that. But like, I've heard rough things about Jason David Frank. I never got to meet him. Anytime he was at the con, because he went to Comic-Con a few different times, the Indiana Comic-Con. His line was just massive.
Yeah.
But that being said, Austin St. John has become a problem. As far as like Walter Jones, Zach, I haven't heard anything bad about him. David Yost, Billy, and Amy Jo Johnson, Kimberly, those guys are, as far as I know, they're doing great. Amy Jo Johnson is like she's still acting and she's producing and getting behind the camera. As for David Yost, he was in the last couple seasons of Power Rangers, like the one that was on Netflix. It was fine, but I know like the two of them.
Amy Jo Johnson is still hot.
Yeah.
Holy
shit.
She just ended up wrote a Power Rangers comic here recently. Pretty good one, actually.
Yeah.
She is 54 years old. No fucking way.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, man. I think David Yost was the oldest originally. I mean, still is obviously, but got sent to conversion therapy and came back and said, "Hey, that didn't fucking work, and I'm going to sue you."
Yeah.
If you don't give me my job back.
When they did, but I'm actually kind of happy he left when he left because they treated him like shit. He needed to go. Not needed to go. He needed to leave that situation.
Correct.
But like, and that's the other thing. Like the Zach and Jason and Trini were supposed to be in this originally, but because when they were starting to make this movie, like plan it out, that's when the contract thing happened, and they got booted. And it's really obvious in the show because there are moments when like Tommy, Kimberly, and Billy are talking to the three. You know, they're facing them, but their backers facing the camera, and they walk away, and then the other three walk toward the camera, and then they get attacked, while Jason, Zach, and Trini are just still walking away. It's just like, okay. It was bad. They tried something and it wasn't great.
Gotta do something. But anyway, so they land. Bulk and Skull land in a construction site naturally, because why wouldn't you? But the more egregious thing is that open working construction site, and these motherfuckers are just allowed to like inline skate through it like it's nothing.
Yeah.
I guess.
What? Because they're the Power Rangers. What are you gonna do about it, huh?
But nobody knows that they're the Power Rangers.
Oh, I thought maybe they do. Rule.
Yeah, but
okay, good point. I forgot about Batman rule. That's right. I forgot we established that already.
What really gets me though is during their excavation of this site, like they didn't do any groundwork. Like they found this cave, not cave, but this like
cistern or whatever.
Yeah, something like, hey, we should open this. No, there's so much red tape you're gonna have to go through before you can even go near that. And yet they were able to clear it all off.
Not to mention that when Zordon's talking about it, he's like, yes, it was buried deep in the ground. And it was like 20 feet out.
It's actually, I think, like 10 feet above sea level. So
like it wasn't even like they, dug like a 1,000-foot hole. It was like 20 feet down, and they're like, that's good enough. Yeah. And then they covered it up like a dog.
I also appreciate when Zordon is like, you guys need to go stop Ivan Ooze before he does anything, because he's here now. And they're like, okay, we'll do that. And then it cuts to Zed and Rita showing up, having a full-on conversation after they resurrect Ivan Ooze, and then leaving, and then the Power Rangers show up.
Like, so what happened was
when
they were trying to teleport back out of the command center, they got some interference, and they ended up at what was the
juice bar?
Huh?
The juice bar?
Yeah, the juice bar.
Possible.
Because they also
like
it also went from being the middle of day to dead of night when they got there. So
yeah, there's a lot of editing problems here.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of problems, so Ivan Ooze was buried 6,000 years ago, according to the lore here.
He's a quick study.
Speaks perfect English.
Quick study.
So here Simon came up with actually a good reason for this. It is because the thing was not sealed all the way, so he could pick up all of everything that was going on around him.
That would make sense for all of his references. Yeah.
Every monster spoke English. We're just gonna assume that Ivan Ooze doesn't know how to speak English.
He was 6,000 years in the ground. When he got buried, there were the dinosaur rangers attacked
maybe
him?
he had Babel.
I mean, they are dinosaur rangers. Babel. Duolingo.
Yeah, they had a little Duolingo down there.
He was on the 3XP like for hours.
Yeah, he's fine. He was fine. He got it. By the way, Ivan Ooze. I mean, the fact that comic finally made him canon. Because he's not technically canon.
So yeah, him and the pig were like not.
Yeah,
big enough.
The pig guy. The pig guy.
I don't know.
Yeah, something like that. The pig guy was like a Tokar, was it Toka and Razor like situation? I'm gonna assume they made him for the movie,
but
because they didn't have the rights. I know, but
I don't think it was a rights thing. I think it was just they wanted, because they had Goldar, they had Rita and Zed. They could have easily had Baboon Squat or Finster, but they didn't.
You know what though? They would have had to pay 3 actors.
That is true. Ooh, yeah, especially since the end scene where the crowd is there watching the fireworks.
Yeah,
those weren't actors. They apparently made let's see here, an advertisement. Production placed an ad in the Sydney newspaper telling fans to come and see the fireworks show with the Power Rangers at Daring Harbor. It was a ploy to get people for the final crowd scene, so the producers wouldn't have to pay for extras.
Wow,
this is that is such a Saban thing to do.
Right?
I don't feel like we hold Saban accountable for the utter bullshit that they have pulled over the years.
Right?
Constantly not using union actors, essentially recycling footage, grossly underpaying actors that also aren't unionized. No.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree with Zach, Trini, and Jason, those guys. We need more money. Especially during season 2, where they were at the height of popularity. They could have
height of popularity, and they also were doing the Universal show. Or I don't know, or the MGM show. So there was a live action Power Rangers attraction. Yeah, they were cast for that too, and also getting paid garbage.
Which, and I mean, I'll be honest here, hasn't changed over the years. From what I understand, there have been, I've heard horror stories of other actors throughout the time of being Power Rangers, especially it would have been during the Disney era, because that's when they started filming in Sydney all the time. They weren't getting paid shit. They actually had to pay their way to get to Sydney and get to Australia to film, and then they weren't making shit for money. So when you see them at conventions, that's how they get their money. Which,
Ron,
fucking sucks.
Make an Ivan Ooze Union Buster shirt now.
No, wouldn't Ivan Ooze be pro-union?
He would probably. I think he would definitely be. I mean, he had all of the parents working for him. They were working wonderfully. I mean, it was all.
I guess that's true. That would make him definitely not a union type of guy, because he was.
He was definitely had management. Which, by the way, real quick, the fact that he got the slowest motherfuckers to produce that much product that fast, I'd like to know his secrets. I'd like to know how he got that facility up and running and producing that much goo that
Magic.
fast.
I mean, magic definitely, but he just took over a building that was already there.
That's because it was a like industrial waste site or something, and he just changed the waste into his slime.
So I love the fact that he has all these magical powers to essentially just rebuild this however he wants, but he can't just produce slime in a cup with a sticker on it.
Or he can't just, pop those things out of the ground without having them dig them up.
Yeah.
They dug them up pretty quick.
I was also going to say that. I was like, wait a minute. He literally has the ability to just control shit. But he couldn't make those things come up out of the ground. They had to dig them out.
Reality bending powers.
He needed his ooze, and that's what the parents produced, because then he pumped the ooze into the robots.
Sure, but he still could have just been like this, and the robots were out of the ground.
Nah, he needed the ooze.
Maybe it's a size thing.
Maybe
you can only have.
So the guy that plays Ivan Ooze is Belloc from Indiana Jones.
Yes. Yep.
And I thought that was awesome because he sounds nothing alike.
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
Well, it's also kind of weird that that dude wasn't union.
What? He should have been.
Right. That's what I'm saying. But it's weird that he would have taken a job that wasn't a union gig unless they had to all get unionized for this movie.
That's what I'm maybe wondering.
Maybe.
Yeah. Because essentially this was produced by 21st Century Fox, through Saban.
Yeah.
Right. So I would assume they all had to be unionized at that point.
I don't know.
Anyway,
who knows?
So I do want to bring up Chuck. I mean, Ron and I watched this. We watched the DVD. You watched it on YouTube with who again?
The Deadlock Podcast. If you are a big wrestling fan and you don't know the Deadlock Podcast at this point, they do retro review shows where they just review an old episode of wrestling. But on their Patreon specifically, they have a long form watch along called Something Gonna Happen, where they watched the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers movie and then did live reactions to it, which I can now officially attest and agree. Watching it with people is 1,000 times more fun. This movie was so much easier to digest because those guys were just hysterical, laughing at it the entire time.
Yeah.
See, Chuck, this whole time I've been trying to get you to watch movies with me, and
listen, I would, but you're never up. I watched this at 5 a.m, man.
Yeah, I guess that's fair.
I watched this
on a Saturday.
I mean, 5 o'clock on a Saturday, I might still be up. Oh.
Well, that's true. No.
Yeah.
But yeah, so objectively, this is just the best way to watch it. It was the best way to watch it. It was phenomenal. This needed a nap in the hotel, and it was perfect. So,
so this is definitely one that you should watch with people.
Yeah, 100%.
Oh yeah. My score will reflect that properly. Trust me.
Yeah, mine will too because I watched it by myself, and that is going.
I watched it with Simon, but it wasn't. It made it watchable. I'll say that. So something else. They changed the Power Rangers theme song for this.
Yes.
And it went from hard slapping rock to pop rock.
They also just had licensed music, which really threw me for a loop, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, I guess that's true too.
But really what got me though, so you talk about the licensed music, they also had the morphing order out of order.
Yeah.
And that bugged the piss out of me.
Right? That was
They didn't even morph correctly. They took away the cool stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whack.
Not great.
So
I did send that picture. I sent that picture in our group chat of who the hell is that? I know, Ron, you said it was the mic guy. I'm like, no, I'm pretty sure it was the animatronics guy because Tommy was actually riding a mechanical bull. That was a mechanical bull to look like a dinosaur. And I'm pretty sure that guy was just there to make sure doesn't hurt himself. But it was just one of those things where I'm like, wait, who the hell is that? Why that guy? That guy looks normal. What the fuck?
Listen, that guy was there to get his animal power also. All right.
Oof. Those guys on the island. Okay, sorry, we're jumping around here, but want to bring up
prior to that, when they go to see Zed after he's been, or Zordon after he's been killed, and like everybody's sitting there talking to him, and then Alpha shows up, and everybody's just like, "Oh yeah, Alpha, right? Forgot about you."
I also want to know who the fuck that guy was.
Wait, so no. We're not skipping over. We're not skipping over it. So Ooze gets into the place that's impossible to get into if you don't have a power coin, right? Because he oozes through the door. Fine. He then plays a little funny flute and blows the whole place up, destroys it. The next scene, this motherfucker walks in, Tommy, and says, "I've never seen anything like this." Sir, you literally did this. You did this when you were the Green Ranger.
Yeah, but not to this command center, because this was a better,
that was
dumber
his way of
looking
saying,
command
that
center.
was his way of being like, "Oh yeah, this is way worse than what I did."
Yeah. I don't know.
Man,
know. See,
have
I
you guys
disagree.
ever seen anything like this before?
I disagree.
What are you, my ex? Like, what are we talking about here, man?
He was gaslighting them.
I would say he also ripped out Alpha's like innards. I thought so. Like, pretty sure he did something a lot worse.
Yeah, instead of just zapping him to make him like run around in circles. Yeah.
But before this,
also, by the way, real quick, Zordon, absolute nightmare fuel in this movie. He's fucking terrifying. Yeah, absolutely 100%. Terrifying in this movie.
Yeah.
He looked like. Do you remember back in the 80s? They had those little glowworm, like baby doll things, where like the faces.
Yeah.
That's what he looked like, except all grown up, and it's terrifying.
I can get behind that.
Yeah. Not wrong.
All right, so we mentioned earlier about Rocky having the scope on his.
Oh Jesus Christ! Yes.
We also had Aisha with the light, a power beam, what it was called,
which lit up absolutely nothing.
Yeah, 100%.
The ground.
It was like having a flashlight that your dad kept under the sink, even though he never replaced the batteries in it. So like it just has that dim like glow of light.
My parents had the wind up one.
Nice.
That was never wound up. You had to like spend like 5 minutes winding up, and then it was good. So apparently there's a deleted sequence. When Zordon tells the Rangers about Ivan Ooze in the command center, there was a sequence deleted from the theatrical cut where Zordon mentions that the Order of Melodon were the warriors who defeated and imprisoned Ivan Ooze in his containment chambers. Zordon also would have introduced new high-tech opt-scan devices that would be included into the Power Rangers helmets, and only Aisha and Rocky would be seen using their Power Rangers, or the Power Beam helmet and the Power Scope. Only those two got the powers, apparently. That wasn't told about. Also, they also got new weapons as well, which was kind of dumb. But
only Kimberly and Billy use them.
The weapons?
Yeah, which are the zip line things.
And the whip.
Yeah. And Adam got nothing?
Adam didn't have anything because he had sick martial art skills.
That's true.
And
because Adam is ultimately the best. Like,
what? So, I mean, Jean-Leon Bosch, he did all of his own stunts because he is actually amazing at karate. And then Jason David Frank did like most of his stunts because he's okay at karate, but he's also dead, so can't be that good.
I guess so.
So at the beginning, they fight like little Ivan clones or whatever.
Yep.
And then they opted out of those for the Tengu.
The Tengu Warriors.
But the Tengu Warriors theme song bopped so hard. Like, they show up and it's like, oh, these guys are actually going to be badasses. And then they are pushovers.
So there was supposed to be. There actually was a scene, if I can remember finding it here, where the Tengu warriors were actually legitimately gonna be terrifying. The scene where they actually do fight was gonna be longer, and actually show them hurting the Rangers to the point where they're like actually like I think one of them was pecked at like Adam's chest and drew blood. Another one like grabbed I think Kimberly or Aisha's arm and like either broke it or like again drew blood. But they got rid of those because it was too violent.
Yeah, this was PG. That would have knocked it to a PG-13.
Yeah.
Yep.
I assume that's why we also didn't get the weapons.
It would make sense. Well, yeah, especially when like an axe or a sword, like
or the guns, or
or they put it together to form the gun, which is like not great.
Right.
But when they get there, Dulcia, right?
Yeah.
Like I would just be like, "Nah, guys, I'm cool. I'll stay here. You guys go save the Earth. I'm good. I'm all right."
Actually, I have written down that's a lot of skin for a kids movie.
Yeah, I mean, but that made
it
good to me even as a kid.
Yeah,
so,
that was their skip. That was originally supposed to be the girl from SVU.
So
no, she was a substitute because you know the story.
I've got the story right here. In November of '94, Gabrielle Fitzpatrick was diagnosed with an ovarian cyst that had to be removed immediately. Mariska Hargitay, who replaced her, spent several weeks filming her scenes, but she just didn't seem right for the role. Hargitay was fired, and Fitzpatrick got the part back in January '95 after she recovered. Apparently, on Hargitay, Kaplan, Fender, Higgins, I guess it's some movie or documentary or something. Hargitay said she was in Australia filming the movie, but she wasn't used for any scenes. When Christmas approached, she told the producers she was going home to be with her family for the holidays. She learned she was fired when she called the producers after the holidays. And also, allegedly, I have to find it again. Oh, here we go. Dulcia was supposed to have a small green anteater-like alien pet named Snoogle, which spoke in the alien language only she could understand. Snoogle often annoyed and picked on Kimberly as comic relief. Snoogle was cut as unnecessarily by the crew. Unnecessarily by the crew, and Snoogle's scenes had been filmed with Hargitay playing Dulcia. So there's a whole other scene that just was gone.
Damn.
Huh. Interesting.
Oh, here we go. The original scripted fight with the Power Rangers, teens, and the Tengus was heavily toned down from the film. In the movie, the Rangers are often leaping away from the flying Tengu warriors, and the Tengus are seen tackling the Rangers to the ground or being held in the grip of the Tengus. It was originally written as a more intense fight to show just how much stronger and deadlier the Tengus were. Among the sequences were a Tengu's beak biting and cutting into Adam's hand, a Tengu drawing blood as it scratched Kimberly's back, and Tommy getting bloody cuts as a Tengu pecks at him with his beak. This fight scene was quickly rejected from the script by the crew because Fox and Saban Entertainment did not want to show such a violent, scary fight sequence or have the Rangers have injuries that would draw blood to avoid complaints from parents who had already been outspoken about the violence shown in the episodes of My Morphin Power Rangers television show, which is the whole reason why my parents didn't want me to watch it, because of all the violence. And I still watched it.
No.
I mean, they were blowing people up literally every week. So
sure.
But yeah, so the fact that there was two actresses that were going to be Dulcia, and then they didn't even tell the other one properly, "Hey, you got fired." Kind of shitty. So maybe it wasn't a union, because if she was a union actress on this, she would have sued the shit out of them. You know?
Yeah.
Probably should have.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Who knows? What else do I got going on here? Oh, I love it when they're all getting the powers, and Dulcea is first off. Okay, so they get to the island, and there are bones everywhere. They are the dead bodies of all the warriors that tried to get this power and failed. And I guess all they had to really do was say the name Zordon, and they would have got the powers, or they would have got the
thumbs up from Dulcea.
Yeah,
to,
because she gave them the ninjutsu powers to then get the new powers.
So I was really hoping that the new powers were just going to be the ninjutsu thing when I first watched this as a kid. And then like the thing that they were getting, the power was like to go back home, you know?
Well,
and then they just turned back into the normal Power Rangers, and it's like, oh.
But it's got a different crest on their chest.
Oh, yeah, that's my bad.
Yeah, they got the new animal powers.
Yeah, so they could redeco the same figures that they already had and repackage them for you.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
I will say, because I've got the Zord over there from this movie. The Zord looks a hell of a lot better than the Zord in the movie.
Yeah, it does.
The face alone, I can't tell what.
Anyway, that's the show. Is that the Shogun Zord?
No.
Is it not?
No, because there's the ninja ones, and then the Shogun ones were different.
Yeah, the Shogun one was the lion. Black Ranger was a lion. There was a unicorn.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
so that's season 2. That's season 2.
Yeah.
So then this one
still the crane though. There was still a crane. No, there wasn't a crane.
Oh no, I've got the OG Zord. I've got the movie Zord.
Don't point at them. Show us.
They're over there, so far away.
But this version of
they do.
This version of the Zord does show up in the show.
Yeah.
Yes.
For this much of a season.
Well,
right. Because they only have the ninja powers for like what I think it's like 6 episodes or something, and then they switch over to the Shogun.
No. The Shogun are season 2, like all of season 2. These powers were all of season 3.
I thought it was the other way around.
No,
because this they filmed this, but between season 2 and 3.
Yeah, because Jason was the Red Ranger because he had the Red Dragon Zord.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's for a little bit.
Yeah, of time. Right. Which was originally Zed's. Which was like originally Zed's Zord.
I mean, it is basically just a reskin of Zed's Zord, but it's not originally hit. Like it is what it is.
It's cool.
It's fine. But yeah, like I remembered, and maybe because I watched season 3, I thought they had powers in the ninjutsu form, but I think that's just in the show, and they only use it like when they first get the powers, and then they use it like one other time throughout the whole season. Whereas this, they don't have anything. They just have, hey, we got new outfits.
Hey, look, we got these heavy robes that are probably really warm to move through this jungle.
And have our face super wrapped up. Although in this they don't. In the movie they don't have their faces wrapped up, but in the TV show, their face was always.
So they start with them wrapped up, and then as soon as they get done, they're like, "Okay, let's get
constantly taking it off."
Yeah.
Oh, also
but those sick headbands underneath the wrap.
That's true. Yeah, makes no sense.
Would be horrifically uncomfortable.
Also, apparently the stunt actors who were in the morphed actual Power Ranger suits the entire time, those costumes were stupid heavy, like 40 pounds more extra than they needed to be because they had all the armor.
And it's like 90s armor. Like they weren't made to actually be moved in.
Yeah. Apparently, when they were in the Zord, they're at the end of the movie or in the cockpits. It was so hot in there that like they had to pump air. How'd they say it? Air through like what's so not scuba diving. What's
what are you talking about?
No idea. could find it on here, but that's so far away.
Like through an air tank?
Yeah, there we go, air tank. I don't know why I lost the word. Like, yeah, I'm not doing great, guys.
What is happening?
Do you
Good
smell
Lord.
toast?
No, but I do smell dinner.
Oh man.
Yeah, Emily's making sausage pasta. Something great.
Sausage pasta something. Wow.
That must be Italian.
Yeah, that's truly Italian.
It's a little sausage pasta something.
So great. Yummy. Anyway.
So, Ivan Ooze is supposed to be the most evil thing in the world, right? Or in the universe or whatever. Yeah. At this point. Like, that's what they say. He's like the most evil thing that ever happened. And he dresses like a fucking clown and solicits his own products. Like, he's just like a businessman. Like, that's... And it tracks.
Yeah, he just runs an MLM. That's all. Like, I mean, so he is like the worst person, but
yeah.
So, back to Dulcia though. She tells them that if she steps off the plateau, she will age and die like Zordon was. Then proceeds to turn into an owl and fly away.
Fly off the plateau.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
What are you doing?
And then Simon was like, well, she didn't take a step off of it.
Technicality.
Only in bird mode is she safe. What I find more funny is when they're going to the island, just because I remembered this, they're teleporting there because why wouldn't they teleport there? And they just fly over Zed and Rita like it was nothing. And Zed and Rita are like, oh, there go the Power Rangers again.
Yeah, see, why don't they have like a big mirror that just pops up and like...
Oh, it gets... I mean, we'll get there with something popping up in the middle of space.
Whoa!
Yep, I said it.
Phrasing.
Hey, phrasing!
There you
That's
go.
what he meant. No, I think...
I was trying to get to it, but I had to scroll over down. Yeah, like, they see the Rangers go off. You know, they're like, oh, why isn't Ivan doing something? Instead of being like, hey, the Rangers are gone. It's now our time to attack. You know? And then even later on, toward the end of the movie, when the in the Zord, the Rangers like try to get Ivan off of the planet because they need more space. And he follows. He has no reason to follow. He could just stay there and be like, piss off, dudes. They gave me Angel Grove. Thank you. Moron. And then the whole comet just coming into place and hitting him. Like, that makes no fucking... What are you doing?
I forget. Did they even reference that there's a comet coming?
Nope, not until until the end there. But like,
right. But they don't like plot like put that in a plot. Okay, I didn't think so.
Oh, hey, there's a comet here, and if we could just get in his path, we could take him out.
Right. One last thing I did thought, which was super dope, is I would love to see what the monster looked like. That when they first get to the island and they're like looking over all the body, like bones and stuff. Yeah. The first one that had like the dope headset, like thing, and like the chest plate and gear. Yeah. What did that thing look like, and how did it die? Because that thing was rad as hell. It was humongous.
Don't see it. Took it out.
I guess
on a date. couldn't last.
Whack.
I mean, I could.
Yeah. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? If realistically, it's not that she dies when she stepped off, but she just turns into Ninjor. Like that's actually what it was.
Honestly, I was, and maybe because I watched the show, I was expecting Ninjor to show up for a second because I saw he did, and then because they do this whole thing again, how they get their powers in the show, but it's different. They change it up. Ninjor's involved. I thought he was involved in here too, but he had just did something different, you know. But he was not. Ninjor was not.
He did. He became a hot chick.
Yeah.
We said on the show it's canon, I guess.
Yeah. Yep.
So
she flew away, then became Ninjor and ruined the entire season.
But also, like, every single time she was on set with any of the dudes, they barely looked her in the face.
Oh, dude. she was giving Tommy the come fuck me eyes the entire time.
And Kimberly's right there.
Right?
Kimberly's right there the whole time.
See, this is where you guys mess up. Like, there's more room for two, okay?
Yeah, but like he wasn't like also how gay is he? Because he's just like contemplating like life. You got two of the hottest women in the world. My guy, what are we doing here, man?
Well, actually,
Like-
on that world, they literally were two of the three hottest women on there because they were the only.
Well, yeah.
I mean, Aisha was hot.
That's what
Yeah,
I
I
said.
think
Two
I
of the
read
three.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
listen, if he played his cards right, he could have rounded this all up. But no. No, so I think Aisha and Adam were hooking up. If I had to make any ships, it had to be those two.
So in the comics, Aisha hooks up with Matt.
Who the fuck is Matt?
There you
Matt?
go. He is the new Green Ranger in the comics.
Oh, okay.
So Tommy's White Ranger, and they make a new Green Ranger. And
Yeah.
I thought the reason why Tommy couldn't be the Green Ranger is because it was evil or something. And
well, he had the like I said, they make a new Green Ranger.
okay, gotcha.
They have a new coin and everything.
He had the master
How do you mint those coins? That's an important question. Like,
maybe we'll read the comics and find out.
Nah,
probably not. I'll just let you borrow them.
Essentially, Ron, there's like space Jesuses, and they just like make morphing shit.
oh, okay.
Actually, the coin was made by somebody here on Earth, but she was an ex-Ranger. The whole comic thing. You have to read the comics.
I stand by it. It's space Jesus.
So
It's actually made from the nails that Space Jesus was put up on his X for.
Yeah.
I do want to read this out because I think Chuck, you might get a kick out of it.
Oh no.
So originally, the main cast who played the Power Rangers were going to appear on WWF programming and promote the movie, and Vince McMahon wanted them to have a deal similar to the one the WWF had with Mr. T in the 80s. And Jason David Frank was originally going to referee the casket match between The Undertaker and Yokozuna? Nope. Yokozuna?
Yokozuna?
Yeah. There we go. Yeah.
Yeah.
At Survivor Series 1994.
Wow, what a terrible fucking match that is. Holy shit. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, to begin the deal between the WWF and the Power Rangers. But unfortunately, Saban turned down the offer, and Jason David Frank was replaced by Chuck Norris.
Yep. Very famous. Yeah. Which honestly made a lot more sense because Chuck Norris, Walker Texas Ranger was the lead-in for Raw. So
makes sense then,
it makes it. Yeah, he's my God, he roundhouse kicks somebody in the face, but I don't think he's the ref. I think he's like the special enforcer or something like that. But yeah, he like hysterically like I'll have to find the clip of it. He hysterically like roundhouse kicks. I think Mr. Fuji or something. It's pretty bad. Oh God, what a terrible era of wrestling. Oh.
So there was also a scene that was cut, and I can't find it here. But basically, when they got their powers from Dulcia, she was supposed to train them. And then the next morning is when she leaves and they go off. But instead, they like cut that, and then we get the whole like them just standing around for a whole entire night. And then it's like, all right, it's time to go. What? Why didn't you go before? But okay, sure.
Yeah.
My only other note that I have is that when the Tengu get blown up, it's freaking hilarious.
I did love that. So there are parts of this though that they do try to make canon to the show because like the Tengu Warriors show up in the show.
But they call them Tango Warriors in the show.
Yeah, whatever.
Look, because they have it here.
The Ninja Zord shows up.
Mm-hmm. They get the ninjutsu powers.
The ninjutsu powers. I mean, granted, they have an entire episode that like completely retcons this movie because
correct.
Was it Saban hated it because they didn't actually, from the sounds of it, they didn't actually have a lot to do with the making of this movie. They just
doesn't
licensed it.
say, but I honestly don't know. I don't know.
I feel like I watched what was it called? Toy Galaxy? No, what the hell is that thing that I like? I've read friends they did the Rocketeer coverage and stuff. Secret Galaxy. Secret Galaxy. Yeah, and they've done a bunch of stuff on Power Rangers and Super Sentai and this movie.
Look, something tells me that like other shows do a better job at digging stuff up. And I'm just like,
go watch their.
It's
Stop
not
watching
IMDb,
our
so
stuff.
I don't know.
Stop watching our stuff. Go watch theirs. No, we'd have to have people watch it first.
Yeah, but they can listen.
Like, subscribe, comment, whatever. If I remember correctly, they had a couple of different writers that like rotated through.
The show, or this?
No,
movie?
this movie. This movie, they had like a couple writers.
They had a couple different directors too. Like the original director, what do they say here? He was set to do it, and then something happened where he had to back out, or he got fired because he didn't like the script or something, and they got this new guy, and he's like, "Yeah, go ahead, do what we got."
Yeah, and also he had never really directed except for like music videos or something. It was weird.
That would track.
Yeah.
All
right. So, are we going to talk about the dick kick?
Yeah, I might as well.
All right.
The emergency button?
use only.
Yeah.
I love how she smashes
sense.
She smashes the glass and it hits the button, and then she has to pretend like she didn't hit it and then press it again. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I saw that too.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, we didn't get did we get the sword? We didn't even get the sword, did we?
No. It was too violent.
Yeah.
But being killed by a comet is fine. Oh yeah, and kicked in the dick is fine too. But...
Yeah, but
getting hit in the dick is funny.
But Ooze had a staff that he was beating the snot out of him with.
Yeah,
he
but
had like a mace
blade.
staff. And kind of had one. Anyway, one of my other favorite parts, and this is only because of the Deadlock podcast. Okay, so the Deadlock boys, every time that they start their show, they go, "The boys are back in town," and they all like yell and scream, whatever. Okay, and then out of nowhere, so it's an ant. Is it an ant and a scorpion?
Yeah, something like that.
And then a praying mantis thing, right? Because there's 3 of them.
There's 2.
Oh, there was 2? Okay. So maybe it was the ant and the scorpion.
I think the ant and the praying mantis were crossed together because it looks like both.
Okay. So anyway, so they had all of the parents dig up these bodies, and the ooze goes in it and brings them to life. And then Ivan Ooze is like, "All right, parents can go fuck off."
Go jump off the cliff. I don't need you anymore.
Yeah. So go kill all of them. Which I really love. What was the song that played when the kid runs back to the party that has no parents, and they're all dousing themselves in ooze because that totally wasn't meant to be sexual at all. That was an orgy, right? We're all in agreement that was an orgy.
I wasn't paying that much attention, but probably.
They won't put it in the It movie, but they'll put it in Power Rangers. Okay, got it. Just making sure I understood this correctly. So he's they show up and they're doing all this stuff, and that song that played in the background of that, Double Trouble or something like that, that has been just burned into my fucking brain like a worm for ever. But all I know is the melody. I don't know any of the words.
We're in trouble. Something, bust a bubble.
Yeah. It's just been burned in my brain. Every once in a while, it just pops in there. Anyway, so the kid shows up. He's like, "Oh my god, our parents are gonna go jump off a cliff. We gotta go." And so then they run to stop the parents, and they're pushing. They're trying to hold the parents back from the cliff or whatever.
Yeah.
And the kid is just I don't know what to do. I'll just get up here and full water blast with this hydro gun. All the fact that not break every kid's back?
Right?
What are you doing?
Anything.
It wasn't doing anything. It was clearly strong enough that it would have like done actual legitimate damage.
Should have pushed them back. Everybody back. Yeah.
Yeah, my brain could not make that make any sense. Anyway, so the two big giant robot monsters are destroying the city, and Ivan Ooze is just like, the boys are back in town, and I collectively lost my shit when they yelled at, and the boys on the Deadlock podcast seemed to lose their shit. Because that was the coolest fucking thing. And I don't know why he said it. It doesn't really fit into, like, I mean, it doesn't seem like something he would have yelled.
But Paul Freeman, the actor who was playing Ivan Ooze, I think he ad-libbed a lot of this movie. Apparently, he ad-libbed
sounds like it.
the Brady Bunch thing.
Him? Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, like, nobody was going to stop him. He was good.
Yeah, he was Ivan Ooze. Like,
I'm starting to realize Joey kind of looks like Ivan Ooze. I think he got a new Halloween costume next year.
It's just a beard? The way his
yeah,
beard
it's like the
right
beard and just like, you know, he has no hair. We could put a vagina on your head, man. Like, we could figure this out. Paint you purple.
You should do it. That's a good idea, actually.
Yeah, I'm here for it. I'll be Bulk, and Ron could be Skull, and you could be Ivan Ooze.
Funny enough, you bring that up. Apparently, Ivan Ooze was supposed to actually, in the original shooting script, including Bulk and Skull respond to a help wanted flyer, and they end up working for assistance of Ivan Ooze.
See, that would have been great.
Ivan comments that he wanted some brilliant, good-looking assistance, to which Skull responded that he was brilliant, and Bulk comments that he was good-looking. When Bulk and Skull realize that Ivan is actually a monster, they try to back out, but Goldar intervenes and prevents the two teams from leaving. Ivan reluctantly agrees to hire Bulk and Skull, as he has them set up a booth at Angel Grove Park to hand out free jars of ooze to children. They are later mind-controlled by Ivan, and Bulk even gets ooze splattered on his face after a child throws ooze at him when he's at the booth. But Bulk and Skull are freed.
Ron and I just thought the same thing. Yep.
But Bulk and Skull are freed from his control when Fred sprays them with the fire hose at Ernie's Waterside Cafe. The scenes with Bulk and Skull meeting and working for Ivan, as well as being freed from Ivan's mind control by Fred, were cut out of the film. However, a photo of Bulk with ooze on his face was shown in bookstores for kids in an official behind-the-scenes scrapbook for the movie.
Huh. Actually, that would make the water scene now make more sense, because then they would have. Yeah, they realize, if we just rinse them off, if we just behind the scenes Brazzer.com here and interview them in the shower.
But it would be essentially getting the ooze off of them. Yes, like that would work. That would make more sense. But we don't get that.
Yeah. No. Why would we have any sort of continuity or anything that makes sense in this movie?
No.
You know?
Nope. Nothing.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's I also, my last note is that the helmets look terrible. Like Kimberly's helmet in particular looked off. Like the pterodactyl on the helmet did not.
The helmet
right.
was wrong. It
was thicker. Like it looked like.
Yeah, I remember seeing these suits and thinking these were the coolest things I'd ever seen. And looking at them now, they look terrible. They look worse than the show. Like, I know the show was just spandex, but like the helmets don't fit right.
Though.
I know, but like the helmets don't fit right. The helmets are also sculpted differently. Like Kimberly had like hooks or something in her in her helmet.
Her pterodactyl one did not look right.
Yeah.
And then of course we had the Rocky and Aisha's who had the special components on theirs. No, the helmets just didn't look good in this.
No.
The costumes obviously looked whatever, but
I was not a big fan of the armored Power Rangers personally, but
this is not a good era for we're gonna make something look like armor.
I will say though, when we get to the Turbo movie, as much as I hate Turbo, at least the costumes they used they continued using them in the show. So
I love Turbo. Listen, you and I have gone back and forth on this. I unapologetically love Turbo.
And I'm not gonna bash you for it. I can't.
I don't think I ever watched Turbo. So
it was
Is that the one with the cars?
Like yep. Okay. And the kid, Justin.
Yeah.
Who, I mean, at the time this comes out, Comic-Con is done. Indiana Comic-Con is done. But the actor who played Justin is going to be at Indiana Comic-Con.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. I mean, we also are going to have, we've got Rocky, Aisha, Tanya, and Kat going to be at, they're always at Indy Comic-Con. They have been the last couple of years. But we're going to have Justin. We're going to have, who else is there? Andros from In Space.
Oh.
Somebody from Time Force. There's
Time
like two or three other ones. Like there's actually gonna be a good amount of Power Rangers representation there. Which
I realize that I think I finally tapped out at like High Speed Rescue. I think was where I finally
Lightspeed Rescue.
Yeah.
So that was my original tap out. Like I didn't watch Turbo, and then I got back in with Space. Loved Love in Space, Lost Galaxy. Didn't watch Lightspeed Rescue, although I am told that Lightspeed Rescue is like some of the best. I mean, it's got some trash, but I've heard it was like really good. Yeah. I really enjoyed Time Force. Didn't watch Wild Force. Liked Ninja Storm, Dino Thunder.
I came back for Ninja Storm because it was only 3 Rangers, and I thought that was interesting.
That's the Disney era. So that's Ninja Storm starts with the Disney stuff. So then that goes until RPM, I think, and then Nickelodeon takes over.
So I watched the original Power Rangers up into yeah, that's pretty much it. Just the original ones.
You didn't watch Zeo? You weren't a Zeo guy?
Zeo was decent.
I don't think so.
Well,
I watched. I don't think I remember anything past. Which was the one where the bad guys were in like a submarine or some shit?
That's Turbo.
Submarine? That's Turbo.
Oh, okay. I watched a little bit of that, and I think that's where I stopped.
Yeah, so it goes.
Because did that still have some of the original Power Rangers in it?
They started out like the first couple episodes, and then they, I say couple. It's about like 10.
And then some of like the 15. And then some of the older Power Rangers would show up in it intermittently or something.
Yeah, they always make a movie.
Oh, maybe that's what I'm thinking of as the movie. Maybe I've seen the movie then.
Okay.
I don't know.
Because like I mean, Tommy was a Power Ranger from season 1, Green Ranger, obviously, all the way up until a couple, maybe like I said, 10 or 15 episodes of Turbo, and then him, Adam, who have been Tanya, and Kat. They originally started as Turbo Rangers, and then they handed off to a different 4 who become the In Space Rangers without Justin because he was a child.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so he was a child. What?
You're not wrong. He was a child. Listen, anyway. I get what they were trying to do with it. Anyway, we'll talk about it.
Yeah, they tried. They tried.
They're trying to make it more relatable to kids, you know?
Yeah, 100%. That's what it was. Yeah.
Yeah. And sell toys.
Anyway.
So, all right, so on to our kill count. Got a total of 14.
Nice.
Yeah, that's about right. Well, did you count the dinosaurs that were already dead? The boats?
I did not.
Okay.
Because then I guess it'd be 15 because the one dinosaur, they kill him again.
Yeah. Good times.
Yeah.
Bingo?
No limbs?
No. Not that I can remember.
All right.
I mean, no.
So we had a dying mentor. We had comic logic, betrayal by a friend, Scooby-Doo chasing, inability to control powers, villain monologue, hero kills, fight for control of something, and product placement.
Wow, really? Only 9?
Yeah. Oh, and I guess technically there are memes from this because there are Ivan Ooze memes and
there you go.
So meme origin, yeah.
Okay. When we did Time Cop, and we had Jean-Claude Van Damme, doing his splits on the counters.
I send the need to addict to people all the time.
Yeah. I mean, you can also when Rocky did it with the whatever that dagger or saber thing, whatever the heck it was, javelin, thrown at him. He does the splits, there too. So
that's true.
Alrighty, Chuck.
Okay. So we may have to rename this the Power Rangers.
Okay.
I mean, look.
So is it going to get a 1 out of 1?
I'm trying to think about it. Like I was legitimately putting, I would say, a good 15 minutes of thought into this. Okay. Because this looks bad. There is no redeeming qualities for any of the special effects. But I remember when it came out, I thought this was the craziest thing. It looked amazing.
Yeah. Especially coming from the Sentai footage for the Power Rangers show into, oh my God, they have a budget, they have money, we're getting these awesome
computer generated Zord fights. Yeah. Look, it's hard because I don't know if Spawn is a 0 of 0 because it's your control of this. It'd
be a 1
scale.
of 1.
So it'd be a 1 of 1. So I mean, man, is it a 1 of? I want to say it's a 1 out of 1.5. But I will say this: we have not watched Spawn yet.
We're closing in on that.
I remember Spawn looking just about as bad as this, if not a little worse, especially when he's in Hell. Hell is kind of the thing that really breaks it.
I do remember Hell. Yeah.
So
let's see, where are we at? 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, it's got to be it's like a 1 point. It's a 1 out of 1.5 Spawn games.
Right.
This is even the practical effects don't look good. The suits look terrible. Don't hold up. But at the time, I thought they were the coolest thing ever. The mini oozes, they looked oh my God, they looked awful.
Yeah. They looked like somebody had flat printed out his face and then wrapped it around somebody else's face.
I mean, it's just the Putty Patrol just purple because those faces were terrible.
They made copies of Ivan and then pasted them over the Putty Patrol.
Yeah,
basically. It was bad. It was bad.
So we do have a quote out of context.
We have multiple quotes.
This is going to be one messy night.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I believe that was Aisha, but it might have been somebody else. But either way, that was
fun. All right. Well,
not a Muppet. So for reasons that you guys already understand, I picked Dulcia.
Yeah, that's right.
That makes sense. 100%.
I kind of like the idea of Goldar not being a Muppet and
he's
everybody
already
else
a Muppet.
I know, that's what makes it funny. He's just a guy. He's just a guy now.
Okay, a guy with a blue face and gold clothes. Okay, that would be fucking hilarious.
I do kind of like Ivan not being a Muppet.
I could see Ivan not being a Muppet. I don't know. Do I want to see Zordon as a Muppet?
Yes. Zordon as a Muppet would have been
dying,
so less terrifying.
Yeah, but also when he's in the orb, when he's in the tube and he's just a floating head. Yeah. I never realized that this season had so much granted, Zordon himself is an American adaptation.
He's not from
Yeah, but the context of the Wizard of Oz in the original, Zordon's the wizard. Rita is supposed to be the Wicked Witch of the West because she rides a bike and flies around. Goldar is supposed to be the flying monkey. There's a lot of it.
This movie also had a little bit of Wizard of Oz, lore, if you will. When Ivan sends the Tengu warriors out, it's almost a copy paste of when the witch sends the flying monkeys out.
Yeah, that also looked terrible. That didn't make any. I like how they had to teleport to this like other planet dimension thing, and these birds could just fly there, no problem, and catch them.
Yeah, before they get very far. Yeah,
yeah.
They fly really fast, although it took them longer to fly back, I guess.
That's because they knew they fucked up and they didn't want to go back and tell him.
That's fair.
Yeah,
that makes sense. But alrighty,
all right.
So on to
our ratings.
Score, Chuck. Out of 10, what do you give this?
Okay, look, I'm about to make an egregious statement. I understand that. This movie is nostalgia for me. I like Power Rangers was my favorite thing outside of wrestling as a kid. I loved this movie. I had it on a VHS. I burnt that VHS out because I watched this movie so much. This movie still holds a huge place in my heart for just how absurdly stupid it is. And the fact that I watched it one last time with the deadlock commentary, so I just was hysterically laughing the entire time. Like this was made for me, man. This is a movie that was made for me. This shit means something to me to this day. 7.79 out of 10. This still means the world to me, but I can't justifiably give it an 8. And also, I'm not clearing a strike for it. So I'm not clearing a strike.
I don't have a strike right now, so it's fine.
I'm not clearing. Oh, I thought you still had one. Okay.
Nope. We had Judge Dredd last week.
That's right. That's right.
Dread clear the strike.
That's right. That's right. But that being said, I still love this movie, and it is the quintessential. I'm at a party and I'm putting this movie on, and we're all making fun of it. Like this is it for me. This is my Star Wars holiday special.
There you go. Like this one would be perfect for that.
Yeah. It would.
Next party, Ron. We're gonna throw this on.
I mean, I have the DVD now, so we can.
There you go. There you go.
I love that you ordered the DVD to watch this because you didn't want to like watch it on YouTube.
Yeah.
Oh, I did.
So I had ordered it before you told me it was on YouTube.
Sorry.
But I also remember it being a better movie than it was, and I was like, "Oh, I'll own it anyways. It's fine."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Oh, I bought." This.
I own the movie because I own most of the series.
Yeah.
So like me having the movie makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
All right. So this does have nostalgia for me. Also, I mean, I watched this as a kid. I thought it was great as a kid. Watching it as an adult, I realized that kids are fucking dumb. Because like there is no plot to this. There is like there's no actual storyline set up. Like this is basically just like Monster of the Week but bigger budget.
Yep.
Or I guess Monster of the Episode because we got them like 5 days a week. Power Rangers was on Monday through Friday.
It depended on. Sometimes they were.
I think it was 4 days a week. I think it was 4 days a week. I think it wasn't on Friday. It wasn't on Fridays.
When they would do like when Green with Evil showed up, like that one was 5 days. They did that the whole week, but I feel like it was like 3 to 4 days a week. Yeah.
No, I'm pretty sure it was 5 days a week. Because it was on Fox 55.
Yeah.
Because it was one of like the 2 shows that were on Happy's Place after school.
Was it on Happy's Place?
Yeah, because you had that, and then you had for a while it was VR Troopers. Yeah. And then we got Big Bad Beetleborgs.
But I thought all that was after. Like
maybe it was after. I don't know.
Anyway, sorry.
VR Troopers is just an absolute fucking fever dream of a show. If you've never gone back and rewatched it,
dude, I have not.
No, it makes no sense. It's so poorly chopped together, but it is phenomenal.
They took 2 different, not Sentai's, Tokusatsu shows and jammed them together to make VR Troopers. And it shows. It's because like the one main guy and then the 2 other people, they're never actually fighting in the VR together.
Yeah.
They're always separate because it was 2 different shows.
That makes sense.
Anyway.
But it still wasn't as good as Big Bad Beetleborgs, so...
Big Bad Beetleborgs was amazing.
Unapologetically, Big Bad Beetleborgs is the correct answer. Yes, you are correct.
Yes, 100%. Dude, I had the little figurines with like the Borgs and stuff, and like Oh man, it was awesome. That was a
Big
great
Bad
show.
Beetleborgs is fucking. It's still good. It still holds up.
Hell yeah.
Yes, it does.
Anyways, but I do have nostalgia for this. However, the nostalgia is the reason why it doesn't have a very low score, because I had a hard time getting through this, even watching it with Simon, and oh man, like it was actually kind of earth shattering to my childhood, because I remembered this being way better than what we got. Obviously, it gets points because it does have a half naked chick in it, but still, like it's just it's like the opposite of peak. It's like valley, you know.
Okay.
And I gave it a 3.25.
Wow.
Because I don't think outside of like
Egregious.
maybe a group thing, I don't think I'll watch this again.
Egregious.
That's
Sorry,
hurtful.
Okay.
Wow.
I was so disappointed in it. I was
Look,
so
we're even for Willow now. Okay, we're even for Willow. I'm sorry. I didn't know that. I didn't know you would do this to me.
All right, Joey. Don't worry,
So-
Joey will keep it up there.
Well,
I
yeah.
don't think so. I think he's about to hurt me.
No, actually, no, I won't. I am a Power Rangers fan, obviously. Like I said, I'm on a whole other network,
I know, it always
On a whole
surprises me
nother
that you have an
podcast.
attractive girlfriend.
right?
Yeah, no, that's actually a super good point. Actually, good job, bud.
Well, I
but
mean,
you shower daily. You know, that's kind of
That's
the
true.
first step.
And
Yeah.
Joey is actually a stud in real life. You can't tell through the camera, but like
I'll say Rod can attest. Almost all my girlfriends have been like smoke shows.
I have never seen Joey
Oh,
with
yeah.
an unattractive woman. Just saying.
All right.
No,
That's well. It's
I don't know.
It's that Ivan Ooze look he's got going on. You know what I mean?
it's something.
It must be.
But no, like this is a nostalgia movie. Like I said, I didn't watch this until I was probably in my late teens, early 20s. But even that, like, it's Power Rangers, and Power Rangers is just a nostalgia property for me. And it's not even that really big of a nostalgia because I'm still watching Power Rangers to this day. And that being said, like seeing this group, you know, this is somebody. These individuals are ones I've spent the most time with, not only because of the show, but because of the comics. So I know these characters fairly well, and so seeing them here in the movie, was fun to do. And the fact that they were able to make a movie of this TV show is awesome. But this movie is not great. However, I still had fun with it. I had more fun picking, nitpicking it. I'm 30 minutes in and I already had like a half page of notes. I'm like, this thing is
that's fair.
terrible.
Before I even showed up, I had a third of a page of notes.
Yeah,
so.
like it's just seeing problem after problem after problem. And I'm like, why did I think this movie was good? What the hell am I thinking? But that being said, though, I still had fun. I'm giving this one a 6.13. So it's definitely a movie I would watch again. Hopefully with a bunch of people to where, we can make fun of it. But that, gives us a combined score of 5.72, which drops it in at number 75 out of 143 movies. So kind of in the middle.
That's fair.
Close to the middle right now. It goes behind League of Extraordinary Gentlemen at a 5.73, and just above Batman and Robin and Buffy the Vampire Slayer at a 5.71.
Honestly, all good company. Like those are like
all
those movies. Yeah, all those movies hit the same way that this did for me, minus Buffy. But I didn't have nostalgia for that like you guys did. So.
That's true.
I thought he did.
Like I did.
First time I watched it was with this. So Buffy was just fun though. But yeah, so there we go.
Anywho.
Hey, you know where you can find me? You can find me on the internet. Kicked Out of the Hood, No Ian Kicked. You can find my hobby page, Kicked Out of the Hobby, No Ian Kicked. And more importantly, at the end of this month, or depending on when this came out, just previously, or the same Sunday. It comes out on Sundays?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, last Sunday of the month.
You can check out Getting Franchise. It's our once a month additional show that you get because we love you, because we care about you. Where Joe and I are reviewing the latest and greatest in movie franchises. We're focusing on horror, and we're already got season 2 planned out, and we're getting crazy with it. So we have just been reviewing them. Listen, we're not even going to tell you what we reviewed at this point. Just go listen to them. Go listen to them all. They're all great. They're all fantastic.
I will say that.
They're all fantastically great. So I took notes. You know what that means? That should mean something to you, man. I took notes.
Not wrong there.
That being
it's
said,
fun though. It's fun.
Getting Franchise, check it out if you haven't already, please. Thank you, Ronald.
Sorry, my cat is right now hiding inside of a little bin I have on top of my table, and I didn't even notice she was there until Simon pointed her out. You can find me on Instagram and TikTok at Good at This Game. You can find my art on Instagram at Good Art This Game. You can also find me on Blue Skies at Good at This Game. You can find me right here on this fantastic podcast. And Joey, what did you find? Because that was a look.
I'll tell you in a minute.
Where are they going to find you, Joey?
You guys can find the show on social media, Comic Rundown, all of them. Just search it up. You'll find it. Eventually, I'll start posting on there again. Maybe I am by this point in time, but today and yesterday, Twitter had gotten hacked, so like I wasn't able to actually refresh anything because fuck Elon Musk.
Wait, Twitter got hacked.
Yesterday in particular, Twitter got hacked. Yeah,
the site that's like run by the greatest greatest mind of our time.
No, you had it right the first time. But yeah, social media. Comic Rundown. You can email us comicrundown@gmail.com. Rate and review us on your podcasting app of choice. If you do, we'll read an upcoming episode. We've got merch over on Redbubble and TeePublic. Along with Chuck doing the Getting Franchise at the end of the month, I've also got Comic Book Rundown back. Ron and I, latest episode, we did Geiger, which don't know. We'll have to talk about that one off mic. Yeah, well, you know. But yeah, I don't know what I've got coming up next. Probably a Marvel or DC not you, the other one. Probably a DC book. I haven't figured it out yet. But yeah. And then our song was done by Cam, the formerly known as
it was done by formerly Cam, the Dr. Father.
Whatever.
Yeah. Or however that works.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. I don't remember how it works. It's always different.
There is no Father Doctor. There is
Dr.
only
Father,
Cam.
formerly known as Cam.
Sure. Why not? All right. That's it. That's all we got. Thank you all for listening. Our next movie, we will be watching Darkman 2, The Return of Durant.
Oh, shit. You're going to get a strike next week. That's cool. I was unaware. Okay.
I was, I've been looking ahead, and we are entering a
minefield of strikes.
Very worrisome period for me.
Well, that's good because I'm going to be traveling to Virginia a lot on Sundays, so it's going to be really cutting into my recording time. So,
that's fair.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. Thank you all for listening. We will catch you next time.
Bye.
Hey, bye. Mighty Morphin and Scooby Doo.